Okay, welcome back. Good morning, all of my dear viewers. So today's session, I am going to discuss the different BNS section, and in different BNS section, we also discuss two important BNS section. One is the BNS section 80 that deal with dowry death, and another is the 64 BNS section that decide the punishment of rape. So we start the topic with BNS 80, I mean section BNS 80. So this 80 BNS section, they basically define the dowry death and the punishment of dowry death. So what is the definition of dowry death according to this 18S BNS? So this 18 BNS, the definition of dowry death is if uh, if any married female, if any married female die within the 7 year of her marriage, if any married women die within 7 year of her marriage in unnatural condition, and the evidence suggests that her family member they force her for dowry. In that condition, it is considered as a dowry death, and the family member is punishable under 18S BNS. So, what are the punishment given under this section 80 BNS? So, the minimum punishment is the 7 year of imprisonment, and the maximum is life imprisonment. The same things is written on the board 18S BNS, which deal with dowry deaths. So it gives the definition of dowry death and the punishment. So what is the definition? If any married woman is die within 7 years, point to be noted, if any married woman is die after the 7 years, then after the 7 years this 18 BNS is not applicable. Culprit is punishable some other BNS section definitely, but this 18S BNS is applicable only if a married woman is die in unnatural condition and the evidence suggests that her family member forced him for the dowry, and one of the most criteria is the death will occur within the 7 years. If the death will occur after the 7 years, 18S BNS is not applicable. So this all about the 18S BNS, and the punishment is the minimum 7 year of imprisonment and the maximum is life imprisonment. So another two important BNS section is one is the 63 BNS section. So this 63 BNS section they gives the definition of rapes, which include four important keywords. One is the penetration, another is insertion, and the third is manipulation, and the fourth is what? Application. So these four things are mentioned, I mean penetration, insertion, manipulation, and the application under this 63 BNS. Now 64 BNS, what about 64 BNS? This 64 BNS na what? They decide the punishment, what are the punishment given in case of rapes. So this punishment is decided by 64 BNS. Okay, now we move forward. Section 2 in bracket 14. This section 2 in bracket 14, they basically define the injury. Injury means not only the physical injury, it includes any mental harm, or there is the property loss, or some person doing some things that given some a statement that hurt the reputation of any person. So these all are included under this section 1/4. Okay, so section 4 there are different types of punishment. These all punishment are defined under this section 4. Now another very important BNS section, that is 22 BNS section. Okay, let's see. This section 22 BNS now they are basically a protective section. it protects any person for criminal liability. Sometimes what happens na, any person who is suffering from severe mental illness, so if any person is suffering from the severe mental illness and during this suffering from the severe mental illness they do any crime, so in that condition this crime is not considered as a offense because the person is already suffering from a very severe illness. For example, let's suppose if any person is suffering from such types of severe mental illness, during this mental illness they think that if they cut or harm or injury any person, if person, they feel that they cutting the only wood. So if any person is suffering from such types of illness where they not aware about what is they doing right or wrong, so in that condition they are not their activities is not considered as criminals activities, and this section is basically for the protection of criminal liability of those person. Okay, one of the more important section is the BNS section 106. So this BNS section 106 for the especially for the criminal negligence. Let's suppose due to the criminal, medical negligence, if a patient will be die, so in that condition, if evidence is suggestive that doctor are negligent, then a punishment given maximum 2 years of imprisonment. Okay, so what about 100 BNS? This 100 BNS for the culpable homicides, and 1014 gives the definition of murder. 102 for the punishment of the culpable homicide, and 103 for the punishment of the murder. Murder. Okay, so 100 BNS for culpable homicide, 1014 definition of the murder, and 102 for the punishment of culpable homicide, and 103 for the punishment of murder. Murder is basically a types of culpable homicide. Culpable homicide means if any person doing any acts or having intention to kill any person, then this is considered as a culpable homicide. And the murder is a planned culpable homicide. If any person is already planned to kill someone, then it is considered as a murder. Okay, now what about the two more section? One is the 124. 124 BNS section for the vitriolage. Vitriolage means acid attack. If anyone they go for acid attacks any ladies, then they are punishable under this 124 BNS section. And the 227 BNS section for the perjury. Perjury means giving false statement in court. So if any person giving false statement in courts, it is considered as a criminal offense under 227 BNS section, and they are punishable under 229 BNS section. So this all about the different types of the BNS section. Welcome back in next video. Okay.